And we are live. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of BlockchainGaming.com News. I'm here with Andrew.
Hey, guys.
And Isaac.
Hey, guys.
How's it going, everybody? It's been a little while since we've all been on the chat together, and we had the CoinFest break.
Oh, yeah, indeed.
We were too busy to do our news for a while, obviously. Guess we should talk. CoinFest was a lot of fun, hey?
Yeah. It was really good. Isaac, did you catch any of the streams?
Yeah, well, I was busy with the CoinFest UK, so.
Oh, yeah. All over the place.
So
yeah,
it was fun. Yeah. So just recap: CoinFest, our event, occurs simultaneously around the world. It's a decentralized convention, and we partnered it with Blockchain Gaming this year. So here in Vancouver, we had our own little get-together, Blockchain Gaming Expo. A lot of different developers came down. And meanwhile, Isaac was in Manchester, UK, where they have another event. There was some cross-pollination, like Horde Exchange, the makers of Plasma Dog, were a global sponsor. So they were actually at both events. Did you meet their team, Isaac?
Oh, yeah. They had a booth there in CoinFest UK, right, in the exhibition area. And they're pretty cool. They were exhibiting their game Plasma Dog. You could play, and then they were also giving away goodies. I got a Horde T-shirt.
Yeah, actually, I got
nice.
a backpack from those.
Oh,
guys.
yeah, they were giving backpacks as well. I was like,
Yeah.
I have too many backpacks.
Yeah.
Just give me a T-shirt.
I was just like, that's a good piece of swag. I was like, I actually
Yeah.
use it now. I was like, you get a lot of shirts and like random little like trinkets, but like that was the first time I saw a backpack at a conference, and I was like, yeah, I'll rock Horde Exchange logo on a backpack.
Oh, yeah, and that logo is cool, so you can just use it. It's nice.
Yeah, it's not super shilly. It's like it's subtle enough that it's just like you don't really know what it is. If you see it, it's not like.
Well, it made an impact, so people saw the Horde Exchange logo all across Africa. So that was fun. In addition to doing blockchain gaming stuff in our cities, they managed to help spread crypto adoption in Botswana and Nigeria and Sierra Leone and Ghana.
Oh, nice.
And they have pictures to prove it. You can see pictures of a bunch of smiling new crypto indoctrinates. Let's not call them indoctrinates. People with the T-shirts, and they're happy. It was a good photo op, and we might do it again.
Yeah, just so everyone knows, I did make sure I pointed this out when I was hosting the gaming expo, is that Andrew right here is the creator of CoinFest many years ago, and it started just in Vancouver. Yeah, I got to show you, bro. You did a good job. Like, it started in Vancouver only, and it was just a free convention with the goal of it becoming a global decentralized convention. And like 6 or 7 years later, Vancouver has not been the biggest one for a couple years. Like, Manchester always outdoes us. So it's
our wedding was pretty big this year. So
that was awesome.
We had some attention and like media outlets a little bit. I was on the radio in Vancouver. Some radio guy was like, "You're having a wedding? Let me pick your brain about crypto." It was Vancouver local station.
Awesome.
My sister heard it, like my half sister. She's just driving to work. She's a teacher. And she was like, "Is that? Well, no, that can't be. It's my brother on the radio. He's talking about Bitcoin." What?
Nice.
Yeah, I'm sure as soon as Bitcoin came up, she was like, "Okay, it's definitely him."
Yeah, and then so it was cool. We also we had a lot of gaming participants in our wedding as well. Engine Coin was pretty helpful with his wedding smart contract. And the GeoCoin guy participated as well. They both presented at the expo and joined my wife and I in our mass wedding concept.
Yeah, it was good. I got to not only be the minister, but write the vows, and they were very.
They were awesome, man. I heard those. Yeah,
they were super good.
They were good.
Yeah, I was proud. I was like, I had been thinking over them for a while, but I didn't put pen to paper till like the day before. I just had kept thinking like this and that, and then I was like, okay. I sat down for a couple hours and bang, it was really good. Yeah, it was quite the honor. So if anyone wants to get married on the blockchain, those vows are totally open source.
We'll probably
Nice.
do it again. One thing that I was really impressed by in Witek's smart contract was the prisoner's dilemma function. It traps, I don't want to use the word traps, but it is a prisoner's dilemma function wherein we put funds in the smart contract. And if after 15 years the partners are still wedded, they get all the money in the contract. However, should one party choose to call the divorce function, that party gets 10% and 90% is gone to charity or burned.
Yeah, and you know that's one of the weird things is it's hard to narrow down how the money should work in a marriage contract and like how to lock people in. So he did it a really clever way. And,
It's a game.
Yeah, it's always got to be gamified, right?
Well, life is a game, you know.
Yeah, so
Game.
you got to wait 15 years. I think the one bug is that like if you have like a decent divorce and you just you don't hate each other, you can be like, okay, so let's not burn each other and just split it
Oh,
up.
yeah.
But he mentioned that he's like, that's the only kind of thing, but this isn't solved yet. So, it's nice to see like we're literally pushing the forefront of marriage on the
So
blockchain.
it could be defeated by an amicable divorce, basically.
Yeah. That's still okay though.
Yeah.
We're still getting there. Room
Progress.
for improvement.
Well, our next meetup is going to feature Volition, crypto card game.
Yeah, that's our next in-person meetup at the Hackspace. So
yeah,
we share
in 2 weeks. I couldn't find much, videos or anything. Their website is just a picture, but
yeah, here it is. I'll put it up.
They made a splash on social media with an announcement months ago, and hadn't said much of anything since. I guess they're just building. And I reached out because they live I think it was Seattle I saw, but now one of them was in Florida, but at least one of them is going to come here, maybe two. They're going to come to Vancouver and tell us what they're up to. You seem an interesting guy. I talked to one of them on LinkedIn. His LinkedIn advertised him as an ardent ICO hater.
Oh, nice.
And I didn't ask him about that.
That's all you need to say sometimes.
I just reached out and invited him, so should be interesting.
Yeah. It's I don't think there's any video up yet, but the page only has a guy talking about it, so I didn't make it through. But it's nice to have them coming up. So if we haven't come up, hopefully we've got some sort of maybe even a bare bones demo ready to play a little around with, or at least we'll get to talk about the mechanics. Because there's a lot of people trying card games on the blockchain in some way or another, like ownership.
It's getting a bit overdone.
Yeah, this one's crossover, I believe, digital to physical.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to have probably token cards and the real card that goes with it.
Interesting.
Yeah, like similar to the way the Coin guy had the Pogs registered on the blockchain, and still be So it's kind of like we'll see how it goes. Yeah, it'd be nice to see new game mechanics that are only available to blockchain. And do we know if these guys are building on ETH?
I forgot. I kind of. I noted them and they went dark, so I stopped listening for a while, I guess. Waited for updates. I don't recall, basically. But we'll find out, man, in 2 weeks.
Yeah. It's always funny to see the ones that show up and you hear about them and then you're like, oh, that looks awesome. And then 6 months later, you're like, oh, hey, I remember them. They're still a thing. Which is interesting. I had that experience today. I was looking at some of the DApp tracking sites that track daily active users, and one of the old games I used to play, 0x Universe, I think I've talked about it before, collecting planets and spaceships, is sitting at 700 daily active users or something. I got spiked up, and I was like, oh, hey, it's nice to see, because those guys were on the grind for a while trying to build a long-term thing. So yeah, it's nice to see. I'm gonna go have to check out the community and see if it's bumping along. And I should have 50 old planets sitting around that I can still do stuff with. It should have 1 billion resources by now.
Better put them to use.
Yeah. I gotta launch those ships. It's a kind of a pain to
Nice.
move everything around though and plan out. I just don't know if I'm ready at the moment.
Well, keeping to the news in order, I guess. You got a bunch of links set up.
Yeah.
Chibi Fighters. I'm still playing Chibi Fighters all the time. I don't know why. I like the art or the humor to it. I just think it's kind of funny and cool.
Okay.
But recently, Chibi Fighters has launched more so. They've been adding new features. It still says beta on the website, but they're rapidly progressing to main their like full game. Unfortunately, for some reason, their updates come out to the Tron network first and then Ethereum. So there are two ways you can play.
That's rough.
You can play on Tron or you can play on Ethereum. Now, obviously, I don't play on Tron. But
Obviously.
some people do. I don't know why, but they do. I guess because it's cheaper sometimes.
Always.
It's
always
still,
cheaper.
I'm just a Vitalik fanboy, so I play on Ethereum. But yeah, now they have the slasher minigames come out, which provides another way to earn ETH shards, which are convertible to real ETH. So this game is based on an economy, an ETH economy. Functionally, Ether is their in-game currency because the shards, the ETH crystals, can be easily redeemed for ETH. So you're kind of playing with real money, but in tiny little amounts. You do need to buy in at first, which is kind of similar to the cost of buying a game or a cheap game, like $20. I guess if you play on Tron, you might be able to do more things in a day, but I don't. I'm too busy to do that anyway. But yeah, this is getting neat. And there's crafting elements I'm still waiting to come out. I don't know if you guys have tried this game yet, but
I think this came out when there was so much going on, and I didn't want to get in the pre-sale, but I really, at this point, wish I did, because it's just like at least they've continued development. They did really good. They were selling a lot early on. My problem with always these games with pre-sales is it feels like if there's a pre-sale that's more powerful, and then it has to be the most powerful, it's like hard to reward your early players without like screwing over your later players, and you need both.
Yeah. I actually was not a pre-sale backer, so I lack this thing called a founder's token.
Yeah, founder's token,
which nerfs me in some aspects in many games. But I've still been doing all right. And let's see, now I have 0.051 ETH that I've made.
Oh no, damn. Like enough to pay for gas and so it's more than enough to keep paying for the gas, right? Like you can sustain.
More than enough. In fact, it'll be enough that I could buy back into the game again and get more characters.
Like use the earnings to buy another chibi?
Yeah, I've reached self-sustainability at this game already. If I had a founder's token, I probably would have a while ago, because the founder's token increases your ability to get ETH shards, which are the most valuable in-game currency because they're linked to Ether and therefore needed to get chibis. But yeah, interesting stuff. One thing I've really been waiting on, though, I mean, come on, is I don't like they don't have a stabbing animation for the chibis. So they only have an overhand slashing motion. Here's the problem with that. My chibi has a spear.
Oh.
My creeper chibi, he's a little vampire guy. I made him a vampire devil little guy, so like any vampire devil little guy, he has a pokey spear stick. Not him. I switched their weapons out. That's another problem. If you swap their weapons, their UI still shows their original weapon they started with. He now has a scimitar, but Creeper has a stabby spear thing, because of course he does. He should poke you with it while torturing you in a cage, probably over fire somewhere.
You've got a whole backstory for him.
Yeah, but instead he swings his spear overhand and whacks you on the top of the head with it. But again, this game's not finished yet. but
Yeah.
it's fun.
Yeah, it's how they all go, right? There's going to be constantly building. And at least this team's actually stuck around. I mean, now that the hopefully bear market's over, like anyone still around is still around, and they're not in and they didn't get eaten by the bear.
Yeah.
Right. So like it's as if your company didn't fold already. There's like a very low chance of it going away. Like if this upward momentum on the price keeps up, like because then the money flows back into space and companies can keep building and not fall down. Yeah, a lot of people went away in the last 6 to 10 months.
Yeah.
Tell us about Dapper Labs.
Yeah, they got a new wallet. Let me see if I can. Let me just reshare actually. So they got a new wallet. I ended up getting a beta invite. It pays for your gas, so that's something that they're the first ones to do that, which is pretty big. I had one complaint. It made me give them a phone number when I signed up, but I think that was just to prevent spam.
How does it pay for your gas?
It's done through a contract. So instead of your wallet. So basically, they don't have the code release for the contract yet, but it seems like the contract is everyone's wallet is in a contract. So if you send something, so the contract holds a crap ton of addresses. So when you activate a new wallet, they just send a transaction to the contract that says add a new receiving address. This person owns it. So then my wallet, which I'll share it right now. I don't think I'm like under embargo or something. It's still in beta. So it's not even really it's not finished, but see if you can you guys see that? Yeah, so did it show up or is it not sharing my
No, I can still see the Chibi fighters.
It's not up in the top right corner? Okay, well maybe
okay, yeah.
Oh, you see it up here? Yeah. So it's basically pretty simple. So you copy address. I sent it a little tiny bit of ether. It shows the beginning and end of your address, which is really good because a lot of them were only showing the beginning, like MetaMask. Activity comes through. It was a little delayed in when I sent the transaction through and actually showing up, but I don't think that matters. It was just like it's really new, but I'm waiting for them to release the source code for it so we can kind of see like how they went about handling all this. I'm sure they will because they just have to. But yeah, it seems like it's just a new NFT-based wallet that pays for your gas, so you can do all your. I think it just pays for your gas in some regards. I would assume it doesn't for everything. Yeah, it was nice to get. I just installed it this morning and sent it a little bit to try it out. Send is just the same. Network free, Dapper promotion. So who knows if that's a permanent thing or not? Yeah, it seems like the plan for this wallet from the beginning was to say to pay for your gas. So yeah, we'll see if we have another. I mean, competition is just better. So like if it becomes standard for people to pay for gas, like more people will use your wallet in that way. But I think with the problem with paying for your gas is like how they set it up, right? But if it's done through the contract, you can still maintain control of your own keys in every way. But yeah, I'm not sure if this is custodial or not. So that's kind of the last thing I'm waiting to figure out. And how long they're going to pay for your gas for. But they also have a game. There's nothing out on it yet called Cheese Wizards coming out. I'm not going to go to the site because it's literally just like videos of like part of the cheese making process from like stuff going on in a factory to like cows. Yeah, and it's like full screen and like it's all like footage from the 60s. It's going to be called Cheese Wizards.
Cheese Wizards. Wow.
Yeah, so I don't know. But yeah, I just thought it was cool. Since the beginning, I was kind of expecting Dapper to do that with a wallet, like to hold your cats, right? Whenever holding your cats in your own wallet. So this is I didn't have time to send in NFTs and stuff, but we'll see as we maybe in the next few weeks or next couple broadcasts from now, it'll be up and running, and I'll throw some stuff in it. We'll see what it looks like.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay. What did we have next on our list? Oh, let me share the list.
The website updates.
Yeah, lots of updates here. Why don't you run us through them?
Well, yeah, Isaac's been tinkering with the site, and we've been working to get more participation from community members. So Isaac's set up a blog, and what I've done is taken the WordPress blog, and I'm going to link it to a Medium publication. We're giving the credentials to friends and community members. So far, contributors we're looking at include Chris from Horde, Dan from Coin, HashKings, that is. And it's kind of neat. So when you set up a publication, Medium and WordPress do not cannibalize each other. You can import an article from WordPress to Medium and vice versa, such that the SEO is preserved and amplified from the original. So, for example, let's suppose your website, say you are running a blog for your blockchain gaming company, but you're not active on Medium. It would be really easy to take your blog articles, import them to Medium, and add them to our publication. It would enhance your visibility. Conversely, if you're on Medium but looking for a blog somewhere, we could take your Medium posts and import them to blockchaingaming.com. The SEO just reverberates between them. And then Isaac's been working on some other updates here and there. I mean, he can tell us about them, I guess.
Yeah, well, like Andrew, like you said, I've been working on the backend a bit to set up like a multi-site for news section and a different blog section. So like you explained about the blog, that others can also post it, and then we'll also have a news section where it's something which we post about, right? So
Mm,
we'll post some news from everywhere. While we are also looking into the market and auctions, the auctions will be also set up soon. Right now, yeah, we are still investigating into it, but yeah. And then the last was the forum. We installed a new, more sleek kind of theme to the forums. And yeah, now that is responsive as well, so you can just view it from your mobile. And I think that also works pretty well. And still working on some graphics for the forum, and yeah, slow and steady.
cool, cool. Oh, yeah, and also we may start adding games to the site, kind of like addictinggames.com,
Mm-hmm.
sites like that.
Yeah.
Just because, with blockchain game, I mean, already it's easy to point to different servers here and there, but with the blockchain, actually, it's not that. Come to think of it, the process isn't much different at all. Listing a bunch of blockchain games compared to listing a bunch of traditional browser games. Um, the point is, we've got some people interested in doing that. Like we might try it with Plasma Dog, for example, as an experiment. So you could
just embedded?
yeah. So you could come to our site and see a list of games, but they have an iframe. So yes, embedded. It's linked to their server and the blockchain, and they're handling all of that stuff. Our site's just a window to their game world. We could do that with any manner of browser-based or game, any game that can run with Java. Probably we
Yeah.
could do that with. And that's really exciting to me in the long run. These sites like Addicting Games are popular. I used to play them in school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope you know what I mean.
And there was the one I used to play was Congregate, if you.
That one, I did that one too.
Yeah, yeah.
But you guys get the idea.
There's a troll box. I really like that.
Of course you do.
That's like that's really smart. Yeah, good thinking. Yeah.
Another new guy I met posting in our Facebook group, which again, guys, a good way to get mentioned on our news program. Post an interesting thing in our Facebook group or forum or Reddit. This guy is making a space exploration MMO called Space Misfits. You look at a video of it, especially the flight, it'll remind you of EVE Online a bit. I loved EVE Online, so I am definitely.
Oh, this looks really nice, actually.
Yeah.
I didn't have a look. Yeah.
And this is pre-alpha.
Maneuverings. Yeah.
I am
Oh, nice.
definitely waiting patiently for a blockchain version of EVE Online. And Torian from Zaya also looks promising in that regard. So does this, however. This is a new
Wow.
Yeah, a real properly decentralized MMO would be so good with like a real
Oh yeah.
economy. Like it might even deserve its own chain, you know, like where the people run the
Mm-hmm.
game kind of thing. Like a proper, yeah.
I
So
think I
with a,
think we will get there eventually. I think so. Like World of Warcraft, for example, but
yeah,
decentralized and an economy. Like
Well, I
wow,
don't
that
think
would be
this
awesome.
one intends to be fully decentralized at the technical level as the
Mm-hmm.
Torai and Zaya folks do, but it looks like it intends to do so at the economic level.
yeah, that's the important
Mm-hmm.
part. And it's on Engine. I
I
just
think
saw it
it's all
pop up on
about
the side.
yeah. I think it's all
And
about steps, like economy, different games will focus on different aspects, but then someone will eventually, once it reaches a level of development, one someone will just make it, or they merge, and
you
then they
should
make a big, yeah.
you should remember to lock your window, Alex. Whenever we start talking, we can't see the video big anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
oh, it's back. Look at that.
oh, I didn't hit the share to everyone. There, this is the button.
Oh,
Yeah,
now it's in
okay.
ground combat.
Yeah, yeah.
Personally, I'm whenever I see games like this, they often get too ambitious with and mess up the ground combat, and players just want to stay in space.
Yeah,
That's been
yeah,
a
I know what you
common
mean.
it's been a common issue. And when I
Dude,
see this,
space.
when
Who
I see
doesn't want to be in
this,
space?
remember when Star Fox did that? S-
Yes,
Star Fox
actually, I do.
Star Fox, when they went on the GameCube, they're like, let's let him go on land and not be in the spaceship. No, let's not do that ever. Bad
Yeah,
idea, guys. Learn
this
your lesson,
is
please.
Star Fox.
Just stay in the space. Yes, the Star Fox incident. It's a historical lesson that developers should learn. But hope maybe they'll pull it off. I don't know. Maybe they're just in their ship there or something. But anyway, that's just me ranting. Uh,
Yeah, space MMO.
HashKings is also live. Finally.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. I was flicking through. I didn't have time to sign up. I'd like to. It's an economics game. It's built on Steam. That's why I didn't have time to sign up. You need to use your Steam username and with the Steam keychain. So it's interesting to see. This guy always looks for the right chain for his game based on the mechanics he's looking for. So last time he built on ETC because he just wanted ownership, but he wanted like to do it in high numbers. So like he wasn't going to wait for layer 2, plugs on the blockchain, use ETC for
Yeah.
cheaper gas. Now he's going with Steam for something that's got more transactions and stuff going around, I guess. So that's pretty cool.
Well, I think he aims for community support, and the Steam community has been good to him in that regard. I also introduced him to Witek Engine Coin because I think it's possible they may consider working together as well.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Anywhere he finds support, I think he's willing to operate. But yeah, this game is ganja farming, finally.
Finally, you
See
said.
any pictures, dashboard?
Yeah, no, yeah, nothing. So there's 197 gardens in the game. There's 4,000 Steam in the economy, and there's 50 citizens. So 50 people. Everyone has an average of almost 4 plants, right? But the problem is I can't see my garden, and
You
I
have
don't
to
think I
log
can. Yeah. Welcome to the HashKings dispensary. So basically, it's like 3 Steam for the best seeds. So this game is like, I don't think Steam is that much, right? Steam is like super cheap.
I don't recall off the top of my head. I can Google it.
Do it.
Steam price.
It's clearly like pennies, I believe.
One Steam is around 30 cents.
There you
Yep,
go. So it's
30
like $1
cents.
to play. It's $1 to play with the best seeds, which obviously
Yeah.
why not, right? So you get 3, and then you get to pick your type, and then I believe you were saying you have to tend to them. So like you got to tend to
You
your plants,
must.
right? You got to
Take
grow them, and then I'm assuming the money that goes in, most of it is going back to the the economy. So most of the money goes back there, and then he just gets a small cut. Yeah, and then there'll be a DEX for it too, of course. Decentralized weed trading on the blockchain, on the Steam chain.
Very important.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I said, it's good to see anyone who's made it to the bear market. Like this is when you got to look for those projects to really come out.
He was struggling through it though. He had to miss CoinFest. Well, I'll have to get him next year.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Bear markets are rough, but like he made it through, and he's releasing games. Anyone who built through the bottom is gonna, just look out for them to keep building through the whole time, right? Because that's what generally kills people. It's just the lesser activity throughout the industry. But once it comes back up, like yeah, anyone who made it through, just expect them to stick around. They're not going anywhere. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to get some Steam going. There's a couple of games that I need to play on Steam.
Well, the next two news items are both drama.
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 Well, the next one's fun. So
No, the next one's my favorite.
CryptoFights.
Oh, I didn't even bring up a thing for this. I didn't even bring up a tab. I was so disappointed.
CryptoFights. So the CryptoFights sent us a press release, which I found very interesting. This press release was like, hyping up their latest accomplishment, and I read through it. And they were bragging about their switch to the Bitcoin SV blockchain.
Not Switch, like they're one of the Engine Multiverse games, and they've been building for a while. And yeah.
But yeah, they were hyping it, and like, I just found it odd with the timing because obviously Craig Wright is not popular.
Or Satoshi.
I agree. But he's also, why would you hire a public relations firm to associate you with Craig Wright? That is not what you pay marketers to do, right? I was confused.
There's no way they didn't get paid to port their game. If they didn't, like, I don't know, man.
Right, there's this guy, Calvin Iyer. Wait,
yeah, Calvin.
He has a website. That's his name. It's calvinair.com.
He's the one who dances with little Cuban girls.
Great. And so apparently, I guess he likes SV, and
yeah, he's the like money behind it or whatever. It's him and Craig Wright are like basically Bitcoin SV.
He invested now a lot of money in CryptoFights.
Really?
So, yeah, a lot.
Well,
so
worse than an ICO.
So that I didn't know. I actually
I don't know what to say, man.
Somewhat sarcastically, I replied to their email and said, "Well, you're welcome to come present about this at our hackspace in Vancouver. We could even do a whole blockchain gaming meetup about it. But you might get some trolls." And I haven't
bring SV into our space.
I was honest. Well, no. At first, I just answered with the sentence. At first, I just said, "Yeah, you're welcome to come present on that if you want." And she was like, "Sure, when?" And I was like, "Oh, well, listen. You got to understand though about if you come here, it's possible some people named Riku and Taylor and Adam might show up and be really mean to you."
Oh, Riku would be the worst.
Yeah. And I was like, and I could try to not let them raise their voices or yell at you, but it's only so much I can do, guys. Be careful. And I haven't heard back to them from that email.
No, shout out to people like the ultra maximalists, because I get called a maximalist all the time for my many views on crypto, and like I still have other people like in the community that'll be like, "No, man, you're a shitcoiner."
Well, your like, name, Dogecoin.
Yeah, it's not shitcoin. That's the one should change. No, but at the same time, like it's just like Bitcoin is the one. Everything else is still unproven. Like Ethereum's great. I build on it. I use it all the time. Like I even play with Tron, so I don't care. But at the same time, like I know where we stand. Like Bitcoin is king until proven otherwise, and Bitcoin is useful, and nothing else is really that useful until it finds a use case other than like money. And like certain things like Ethereum with the ownership is coming around. Like lots of things are coming around, but still like the test of time before which one is like the chain. So like, but I still play with all of them. I'm still like, yeah, Bitcoin's not going anywhere. I don't think anytime soon. I don't think it's getting dethroned for many, many years, if ever. So that's why I get called a maximalist, because I say things like that. But then, you just buy a cat on Ethereum or trade a Dogecoin, and all of a sudden you're a shitcoiner.
Well, yeah. I think we know everyone's thoughts on that whole news bit.
Yeah. Let's not ever give them
one
airtime.
more drama news bit. Halo platform. We were talking about those guys for a while. Block and Chain Games. We mentioned them several times. They were planning on coming to the Blockchain Game Expo at CoinFest, but then their entire team quit.
Oh,
they're mad at Halo Coin and
Halo Coin.
the Halo platform, the platform on which their blockchain games were to be based. The founder of that, they had a dispute with.
This is not Hollow, right? Halo is something.
Halo.
Okay.
Not Hollow. Halo. The Halo platform.
Okay, I didn't. Yeah.
So basically, here's how it looks to me. This guy, this is an experienced game dev. Actually, he wrote a book called like How to Manage a Game Development Firm. You know, he's a game person. And I guess the Halo platform guy was the first blockchain guy to actually find and explain to him blockchain gaming and what he could do with it. So when this guy first tried blockchain gaming, he put it on the Halo platform, the one of the guy who first explained it to him.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But so at some point he stopped paying him. So he had it set up in a situation very different. So, and I explained to him, you know, typically in the new economic model we use in the crypto space, typically you wouldn't accept a salary and give away the whole rights to all of your work. Typically you would do it and be incentivized with tokens, like there's Engine or Steam or whatever who have funds, and it's a very different model, but it gives you more control. In this case, he was accepting a salary for his team and losing all creative rights to the thing he built. Which is a trade-off, you know. So I get money now.
No, it's risk. Yeah, risk reward, right? The game could fail.
But then dude stopped paying, and out of courtesy and just being a good professional employee, he didn't tell me that for a while. In fact, when he sponsored the Blockchain Gaming Expo, he paid for it himself out of his own pocket, not the Halo people. So eventually,
we had that at Dogecoin too. Someone did that for a company. Yeah.
So eventually, they all quit, and you know, I pointed them to people like Engine and Dapper. I think he might go with Axiom Zen because he's less comfortable with uncertain token economic model where you build a game and if it works, you reap the rewards later when your tokens do well. You know, I think he might rather do the equity and salary route of things. But long story short, I think he will eventually come back to blockchain gaming after some reorganization and hiatus. But Block and Chain Game Studios still exists or claims to, right? Because the Halo platform owned the whole thing, right? But the people you see are not the same people. So it's kind of funny. So, for example, I saw a post on Blockchain and Game Studios like Facebook wall, and the post was something like about their team motto, like we believe in creativity, equal opportunity, you know, like all the socially good, justicey feely things. And one person from the team commented, "Hey, that is the motto we wrote. They're still using it." And then 5 other ex-employees also commented, and I witnessed at least 6 ex-employees commented like, "Yep, they're still here pretending that we still work there." They're just, you know what I mean? It's kind of a facade.
It's so unprofessional, you know.
Making it appear as though, so basically they're trying to make it appear as though this incident did not occur.
Yeah, so they can probably sell the assets or something.
Well, the game they built is already profitable.
Really?
BlockFight is already revenue positive.
Really?
So, and I was explaining to him, see, if you had gone with Engine Coin, you would now have revenue positive game and more control. But instead, this guy has it, and he didn't pay you for a bunch of months, and drama.
All right, I'm loading BlockFight. I'm gonna bash some. I'm just when I hear a profitable blockchain game, I'm just.
We
like,
can't see it on your screen, by the way. Got to show us on your screen.
Yeah, I know. It's not doing anything. It's just on the loading screen. I'm very long. I think it's made in Unity, I assume, because.
Oh, when I said profitable, I meant for the developers, not for you.
Well,
But
yeah,
maybe
I'm surprised it even is. I'm just surprised it even is profitable to developers. I was interested in mechanics. Yeah, I'll have to check that out later. Yeah, I think I have seen this before.
Yeah,
let's talk about the best one on the list today.
Okay.
I think that's the next one. This is my favorite. Yes, it is. It is Satoshi's Treasure. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen for this. So this was really cool when it first came out. I got way too excited. We're actually building the satellite now, so we can get the clues faster. Yeah, we did all the research into that. So let me grab a screen share, and I'm gonna tell everyone about the absolute coolest thing in blockchain gaming right now. It is the Satoshi's Treasure hunt. So the way it works is there's most people know about multi-sig, where two people have to sign, or two or more people have to sign to make a transaction go off, or two of a certain number. Well, there's this other thing called Shamir's secret sharing scheme, where instead of two people having to sign, you actually break the key up into multiple parts. So these guys have taken a private key and broken it into 1,000 parts, and anyone with at least 400 of those parts, it doesn't matter which 400, anyone with 400 can put the key back together and claim the $1 million prize. So the reason this is so interesting is because, so first off, they started the clues by satellite. So basically there was this, if you have Blockstream satellite, you got a message that came through, and it was just like, yo, we're going on a treasure hunt, right? And then they released 3 clues. So they were not that hard for the first 3. You basically just had to go to location, get a QR code, scan it, and it would take you to, I actually should /K1, but it just takes you to here. And you decrypt the passphrase, and I believe you just enter. It was just a case of brute forcing it. Orbital, I think. Yeah, I did it. So there, I got my first key shard. So basically, it'll look like this. You'll get about this ST001. There's 1,000 total. So you need any 400. So where it gets interesting is these clues are dropped on like a global basis. So they're dropped everywhere. And you have to do different things to get different ones. Some of them are just solve. Like in that case, you could brute force it. So it's just literally like knowing to go there and brute forcing it. But for some things, this one is not found yet. You basically have to find one of these 3 people, and you have to bring them a book. And it's kind of like pretty interactive. So this dude right here, if anyone knows him, get a hold of me, because I got to find him. And you bring him a book, and he gives you the key. You bring him a book, but you specifically, it's even funnier. Like
this is like a One Piece. Do you know this anime?
Yeah. There's memes everywhere. Agent 2. This guy apparently is in France. So Burning Chrome is a book, and you bring him a book, and you're supposed to hand it to him with both hands and say, "Are you looking for this?" And then he gives you the key back. Yeah. And then there's basically all 3 of them have the same key though. So this basically it's depending where you are. And I think the last guy is somewhere in the States. Yeah, this dude right here. Yeah, this guy. So there's a few Twitters dedicated to this already, and like everyone's just hunting social media. So it becomes interesting because since certain answers are public, you always have, everyone has the same set of answers. So right now we all have 4 answers, and everyone has those, right? So everyone only needs 396 that the other people don't have. But what happens when there's like 300 known answers and 100 unknown answers, right? So everyone has the same 300, but the first one to secretly get 100 wins, right? So it becomes like this thing where you want to work together, but you also don't, but you also have to, because it's not stationary. It's not all done online, right? You actually have to find dudes and bring them a book. So yeah, the way they're going about it is pretty crazy. This one was, I don't know how this one got solved, but somehow in this little ridiculous thing is a private key. I don't know what the trick was to getting this one. I read it before, and I'm like so into this actually that I'm gonna do, once there's about 20 or 30 clues out, I'm gonna do a meetup about it at the Hackspace and kind of just, you know, do a public facing meetup, just kind of showing everyone like what's going on.
Awesome.
Yeah, showing them how the clues were solved, you know, like what they can expect. And
Yeah,
then,
we should totally make a clan, dude. Come on.
oh, dude, it's so much work. The people are going hard on this right now. People are
Yeah?
going hard. Yeah, there's a few people who are like, there's a few Twitter accounts already that are like definitely like putting in the work. But it's $1 million in Bitcoin is the final prize. So we'll see if they. And it's interesting, how long is it going to go on for? I mean, the clues have to be hard. They have to be a lot of clues that come out, because once you get to like 400 clues in existence, someone could win any time. But there's 1,000 clues total, so they got to start like coming out fast. That's what I would assume anyway. So yeah, I still don't know the Follow the White Rabbit. I looked it up before. I don't remember how they did. I think there's just a hidden. If you download the image and like go frame by frame, there's like some hidden information, and then you use that to derive it. Yeah. So this is this is super cool. Satoshi's Treasure Hunt. It's Satoshi's Treasure. Satoshi's Treasure.xyz. And yeah, it's an interesting take on like what's possible with blockchain and gaming from a non-traditional perspective.
Yeah.
Like a literal treasure hunt.
Yeah, but this is similar to have you heard of the thing cicada?
No.
Do you know no?
No.
Which is it? Share it. I'll pop it on screen.
So yeah, it's not. It is not. Of course, it is not a crypto-related one, but this is the first thing which clicked me. You know, there was a puzzle called as Cicada 3301, and that was the puzzle which was like worldwide. You know, and it was insane. Yeah.
How do you spell it? S-E-S, like Sakura?
Yeah, C.
It's like cicada.
CICADA 3301. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Cicada 3001.
So, yeah, 33.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. What year was this on? 2012.
Yeah, apparently I think people couldn't find the latest one.
Yeah, I think someone actually showed me this recently. And at the very end, it became like a less like not everyone could get there at the end.
No, yeah.
Like
only 3 people or something like that.
Yeah, like
but it's still going on, or it's still not completely solved. There is a lot of things still not solved.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. Someone ran me through this the other day. Yeah, I had the butterfly. Yeah, so
that's how I feel about this one as well, you know. It's so cool. Satoshi's Treasure.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how people come together, and if they end up like fighting or like betrayal. Like betrayal is a definite possibility.
Always.
Yeah, top 10 anime betrayals. Will be the guy that does that. All right, so what was next on the list here?
Another game studio joined our community-ish, or someone posted it on our Facebook group. Titanflight Studios. So
oh, cool. Yeah.
Always new game developers joining this space now. It's good to note them, I guess. Check out their website.
Yeah, I'll bring it up right now. Do you know if they're a new studio or if they're making the switch?
I think they're new, dedicated to this.
Yeah, okay. All right, let's see what the products button. We have released our first title, Rebounds. It's
oh wait, I think I've heard of Rebounds.
Hyper casual arcade game. Let's see if I can play right now. Oh, it's on mobile. So this is going to be an upcoming mobile esports game, making the
mobile esports.
Yeah, I mean, so like I play Clash Royale, and they have huge tournaments for that. But at the same time, so I guess it's on Engine. That's clear from up here. But yeah, at the same time, like Clash Royale, like they kind of go esporty sometimes, and like there's a pretty huge player base. But even then, like I don't know, phone games. I feel like someone with a computer and a mouse would play better than anyone on the phone. I just feel like it's more, but I guess if
Yeah,
everyone
that's
has the
true.
same, because I've seen people who stream the game just play from their computer.
The thing is, this game, PUBG, it went quite huge on the phone,
Yeah,
right?
I think Fortnite you
The
can
thing
play on
is,
your phone too, right?
what I heard was that they actually have different servers, right? So so people from phone can only play with people against phone.
Oh,
So
that makes
that
sense.
makes
Yeah,
it, yeah, that makes sense, right? So I think that's how it will be. Like, yeah.
yeah, because I think Fortnite can do phone too.
Hmm.
Yeah, we started in 2018 with an aggressive goal to revolutionize and turn the current gaming model on its head. Yeah, so they're a new studio based out of Texas, and they are coming at everyone. And they're built on Engine. Yeah, a lot of it's hard to bet against Engine being one of the long-lasting platforms these days.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, it's always good to give the new guys a shout out when they come on board because hopefully they come up with some good. People deserve a little bit of attention. Yeah, the next one is maybe not perfectly game related, but I think it's super important. And that was PewDiePie made the jump off YouTube. I don't know if has he stuck with this because this is I remember when this happened. I was surprised.
Well, he's a gaming streamer, isn't he?
He kind of
Not
turned in
necessarily.
not after a while. He just made whatever videos. Like once he was
Yeah.
like god of YouTube, or he just kind of started to do a lot less gaming. He would still play stuff, but it was more about like the commentary and just like shitting on stuff. But yeah, he definitely like raised his entire fan base mostly on a gaming thing to start. And he was actually about to be outsubscribed by a trailer channel from India because India's got 1 billion people, right?
T
So
series, yeah.
yeah, T Series. So there was the big subscriber war battle with T Series, and yeah, then he just quit at the top, which is so awesome.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see.
yeah. So, but then he's going over to DLive, which is apparently he's apparently far enough along in its development. I'm not sure if it was originally DTube or not, but it was apparently far enough along in its development to like sustain
Isn't it
huge
BitTube?
streams.
The
No,
BitTube
yeah, I
is
remember there
different.
was BitTube was an old one. There was DTube, and I don't know if DLive is DTube.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't heard about DLive before, before PewDiePie.
Yeah, I'd only heard of DTube.
Um,
That's why I was surprised.
Hmm.
Yeah, dude's got 93 million subs and 21 billion views. Yeah, and YouTube just abused him the whole time.
yeah, but what I think is, when some streamers switches platforms, it's the streamer switching, not the subscribers. You see what I mean?
I think in
So
some
will the
cases, yeah.
subscribers, so will the subscribers or the users who are actually following the person switch along with him? Like how many of them will really switch? That's the main question, I guess.
I think in PewDiePie's case, he's got a better chance of it than most, obviously, because he's got
Yeah,
so many,
he's got
and he's got
fanboys.
he's got such a following. They'll come with him, and like there's a real like kind of fuck YouTube like atmosphere for like a long time from a creator perspective. Like they'll you don't know what you're allowed to say and not allowed to say for them to demonetize your videos. And then like people's whole
Mm-hmm.
life kind of works around having their videos monetized after a certain point. And then YouTube
Yeah,
can be like,
yeah.
you know what, we don't like you anymore. Even though like you can point to other channels doing the same thing, there's like no clear guidelines, which is super annoying. So like people have always had that problem. Creators have always had the problem with YouTube, and people like PewDiePie have been really vocal about it,
Yeah,
about the
yeah.
way it works. So it's not. I'm glad he's set for life kind of thing. He's got enough money to just live no matter what. So it's good to see him like taking his clout and like trying to like
Yeah, yeah.
not support a system that he doesn't need anymore, even though the system kind of got him there.
Mm-hmm.
Should be interesting to watch these centralized YouTube equivalents emerge.
Yeah, it's a lot of YouTube's it needs competition, right? Like that's the problem with any monopoly service. Is it just that there's no reason to innovate once you don't have competition because you're just winning. You just keep breaking it
Yeah,
in. So
that's
if they
true.
had competition, everyone would have better streaming services.
Yeah, I think these services, there's new ones are really nice. Even BitTube is also really nice. The not just the technology itself, but the economy, the way the crypto economy is set is also really much better for the actual users, not just for the company itself.
Definitely.
Oh, last thing I wanted to talk about, I think, was an interesting conversation or blog article, rather, I saw from the Gods Unchained team. So they're talking about scaling on Ethereum, which obviously is very important, particularly for blockchain gamers. And it's a huge issue. Like Alex was noting when I was talking about Chibi fighters, one issue is how to make the game economically sustainable with fees, right? Where you're not burning everything, too much of your expenditure just in fees, because that subtracts from the token economic system of the game. So Gods Unchained noted it was expensive to create
Oh yeah.
NFTs. The process of constructing one incurs a fee, and if you were to play a game where every item you use is an NFT, this could be untenably expensive.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and these guys have a lot of NFTs out there. And so, like, I actually read through this article when it came out, and it's definitely, yeah, I see where you're going.
it's very
That's good.
interesting what they've decided to do. Is that, and this is a thing that I think a lot of people will do, not just with gaming, but with Ethereum in general. Like I've looked at it with another project I'm doing or a similar concept. So instead of creating the token right away, you note that when the token is created, who will own the token, and some metadata about what its nature will be. In this case, we know that when you open a booster pack, it generates some NFTs and they're generated randomly, right? So there's probably a little seed. Every time you open a pack, you get a seed, and from that seed is generated your cards.
Yes, that's almost exact. So what it is when you open a pack, your transaction, there's a secondary transaction that they do that uses your seed from the first transaction. That way you can't mimic it, like do the same seed twice if you get a good card. So there's like it's a double transaction to buy. So you pay the first one with most of the gas, and then it gets forwarded to them, and they confirm the second one from like their account.
Yes. And what's interesting here to me is so that you don't, if you want to play with your card, it doesn't necessarily have to be an NFT that's tradable yet, but it does, from our perspective, have to be on the blockchain. So basically, if you just store the seed on chain, which is not that much information compared to an entire NFT token, then you can the same algorithm that would be used to generate the NFT from that seed, you can run that process locally on your computer every time you want to play with that card, right?
Just do what you have.
If you can do it once in the NFT creation process, that means you can extrapolate what the card is from the seed at any time.
So you don't actually have to do it. Yeah.
So you don't actually have to create a full-fledged NFT. So they call this, there's a process called activation. So, right, you open your cards, there's seeds there, they're yours, and you can play with them, but you cannot send them to another person.
Yeah, I don't have any. I think I activated one card just to try it out. Like I activated one of my packs that I bought early on, but yeah, it's I have a bunch of these packs and none of them are activated or tradable.
Right. And so as soon as you activate them, they will be converted to an NFT and at that point become freely tradable. And this is interesting to me. I think this concept might go far. And if you think about it, this is the manner in which fully decentralized games are to operate. Like we've said before, you can't do chess on Ethereum fully because the checkmate itself would be calculating a checkmate would be too expensive in gas consumption.
Oh yeah, I
So
never heard that. That's
it is
cool.
true. The logic of games is too much to calculate on-chain via smart contracts. You know, what a game like HunterCoin does is very similar to this activation process. You know, only the most necessary stuff is on-chain, and a lot of the extrapolation from that on-chain data is done off-chain by your local client. Similar concept here, right? When you're playing, you're extrapolating locally off-chain what the card is, but you can go and verify that you weren't cheating at any time by comparing what you did to the seed on-chain. It's basically, I think this is one of the manners in which we're going to see Ethereum both A, start to scale with NFTs, and B, start to figure out ways to be more decentralized in its construction. So it's exciting for me.
Yeah.
End rant.
And yeah, they've
But that's
gone.
really nice.
Yeah, but they've gone further with their activation. So they have activation V3 now, right? Basically, the beginning you could only activate whole packs at a time, and then they upgraded that so you could activate single cards out of any pack. But it was still pretty expensive.
Right,
and now they're doing like the way they're doing it now, like you were saying, is they're making it even cheaper. But in the end, if you want to trade your cards, you got to activate them. Oh, actually, another thing they do, there's 4 levels of each card, like regular, gold, silver, gold, diamond kind of thing, and you like 5 makes the one above it. So instead of activating your 5 regular cards to make into a silver, you just, or shadow, not silver, whatever, shadow, gold, and diamond. So you can actually combine them while they're still not activated. Then you only have to activate 1 card.
Yeah, and what they've done, and that's another interesting thing to note with their version 3, their further activation they came up with. So before the question is, how do you know if a card is already activated, right? Before, they just assumed it by order. The cards built first were activated first, and you had to do them in order.
Yeah.
Now they have, and that's lame. Like, what if you don't want to activate them in order? What
Yeah,
if you
with
got one
each
later?
pack set. So if you bought 50 packs at once, you had to do that in a chunk. If you bought 5 packs, you had to do that in a chunk.
So now they can keep track of whether or not they have been activated or not. But that raised the cost slightly. They had to add one variable, which isn't a very expensive variable because it's the tiniest unit of information in a digital system. Yes or no, 1 or 0. Is it activated or not? So each card has that now. So that's doing that, basically allowing you to activate them out of order, increase the cost very, very, very minimally.
Yeah, but clearly worth it for the overall savings. You don't have to do every single one.
Yeah, and from a control perspective, I wouldn't want to feel limited that way as a player.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, that's our learning hour.
No, that's the kind of stuff that always like. There's so much to like building a game on chain. But there's always going to be like more considerations. Like the Gods Unchained guys are Etherbots people, and like to watch their progression of understanding of gas mechanics to go from like when they first released Etherbots to this kind of stuff is like really great to see, right? Because like they had problems in the beginning where like things were really wasteful and like not given consideration when they were built, but now they're just like they're like respecting the chain like so perfectly. So yeah, hats off to them.
Yeah. Well, that's all the news we had on our list. Any final comments from you guys? Don't see anything from our.
I'm going to win Satoshi's treasure.
Nice.
Good luck, man.
Good luck. Good luck.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give it a try as well.
Yeah,
Slowly,
I'm sure we'll give updates on this cast if there's ever any interesting, cool stuff that happens. Like any real big guilds or teams form or something.
yeah,
Be super
yeah.
cool. But yeah, when's our next one? We're going to be doing live in person on
2 weeks from now. Volition's crypto card game with the ICO hater.
Sounds like he'll be very welcome in our community.
Yeah. Yeah, now what a big dichotomy. We could have had the ICO hater, or we could have had the Bitcoin SV CryptoFights people. It's like polar opposites, practically.
Yeah, man, it's rough.
Anyway, we'll see our viewers then 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, thank you guys, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you, Isaac and Andrew. And yeah, we'll see everyone in 2 weeks or in 4 weeks if you catch us back here again. Have a good one, everybody.
Later.
Bye bye.